Rivers are going to flood. And why do people live near rivers? We live near rivers because they're pretty. We can go fishing, provide recreation, transportation, waste disposal, a lot of reasons to live by rivers. Most big cities built up around rivers because of hydroelectricity. Flood control, though, gets to be very expensive. Here's an image up above. They're building up a levee. If you walk around ASU anytime over the last year, you'll see sandbags in front of Edwin Duncan, in front of Rankin, the Octagon, all because we're trying to live in a floodplain. So levees, like they're building up above, they can prevent floods. They they maximize the height of the channel, max that out, and so it, instead of letting that flood water go out on the floodplain, it stays in the channel, so it just projects more of that water downstream. That's one of the issues that happened during the 1993 flooding, just moving all that water downstream. In 1993, when that happened, water would overtop the levees and get caught behind the levees. It was terrible. In 2005 in New Orleans with Hurricane Katrina, this is when the levees, water was pushed up against them. Water didn't go over them. The levee just failed and collapsed. Then the water got behind the levee and flooded New Orleans. And then the pumps to get the water out got flooded. So it was just a sad situation. New Orleans, we're visiting it again. The canal wall failed. Others just followed after that. And all that overtopping and all of that failure then made it impossible to live in the city for a while. What should we do about this? What can we do to live with floods? We need to establish, delineate where the flood is. So in this image, it shows the area where the 2-year flood. So it's saying there's a probability, 50% probability that a flood is going to happen in 2 years. It's that high. The next line is the 100-year flood. And most insurance companies want you to have your house outside the 100-year floodplain. So building outside the 100-year floodplain is a good idea. Flood risks are spread financially to everyone. What does that mean? It means that the government subsidizes insurance. So me and you pay for other people to live in the floodplain. The government is going to collect hydrologic data and create flood risk maps. They maintain any flood control structures also. That's done by the Army Corps of Engineers. Urbanization. Okay, the images, these two graphs are called hydrographs. And let me just talk about that first. The vertical axis is in centimeters cubed per minute. That is a discharge in centimeters, so cube is tiny. And how many of those centimeters of water, so volume of water, going past a given point over 1 minute. So the top, and that discharge is plotted over time. So how much water over time? The top graph shows an area after urbanization, where the blue line is a rainfall event, and there's a short lag time before a really large discharge event. In an unurbanized setting, you're going to have the rain event and then a longer lag time, so less flashy, and the max discharge during that event is going to be lower. What this is telling us is that in an urbanized setting, all of the impervious surfaces, by impervious, I mean areas where the water can't infiltrate, you're going to have more runoff, so water gets to the stream faster and there's more of it, urbanized. I'm recording this today on Earth Day, 2020, and rivers take a beating from people. Look at this river here on the left. It's highly channelized in a man-made stream. It is, they're pulling water off to fill up these swimming pools. They're pulling water off to irrigate all this green area here. We channelize the stream, we remove the water for irrigation, And then we put a lot of waste in our waterways. In North Carolina, it seems like we're in a constant battle with Duke Energy over coal ash waste. So the health of our rivers is definitely not on the up and up. We need to keep looking out for our rivers. Happy Earth Day.